say a woman came speeding down the road. She hit this empty house here, went next door, hit 2 cars parked over there, bounced off those cars, and into the Clark's home. After her boyfriend realized he was shot, he ran next door to the neighbor's house to use their phone. This umbrella isn't helping with the wind, and of course we've got lots of rain out here. Take a look at this intersection here. Not only cats and dogs needing help, these horses came in too. This guy had cuts down to his bone. Now, they received a call of shots fired and came to search the area, and that's what they're doing now. I'm not sure how much you can see because it's dark out here, but being that it is dark, that's what police have working against them. I walked up toward the stage just a little while ago and wasn't sure I was going to make it back to the van in time. That's how many people I had to go through. And of course, whenever you're surrounded by all this blue, you can't help but get into the spirit. They've been selling t-shirts like this. We talked with a homeowner today who says it's an inconvenience that they're now having to deal with, but he's glad everyone's okay.
It's a sight that brings neighbors out from their houses.
Look how bad that thing's smashed up.
You could hear the car revved up, jumped the curb right there, went directly into the house. Very loud crash, poof.
Hey, imagine what that felt like inside the house.
Brian Watkins would know. He doesn't remember where he was in the house when the car went through it, but he remembers the feeling.
Hey, I didn't know what happened. You know, it took a few seconds for everything. Just looking for our kids.
2 of his daughters were in the room the car crashed into.
Knocked the bed clear across the room into the closet, and we have a little space between the dresser and the closet wall. Both my girls were in that little space right there.
Police say the 17-year-old driving the car passed out for some reason.
The passenger actually was laying on the ground, and he said, "Did we run into a house?"
Both teens in the car and everyone in the Watkins house were okay. You can bet they all agree with Watkins when he says,
I've had better days.
It may seem that only the most severe cases of child abuse or neglect become news stories. The Kansas SRS Department has a special unit that handles those cases. Eyewitness News reporter Linda Mata shows us what these workers deal with day in and day out and what keeps them going in this special report.
The stories are hard to hear. Last June, a mom gives her children crack cocaine.
They've always been priority, always, and they always will be.
Another mom burns her baby in the bathtub.
I was holding him, and well, they made the call, and I mean, his skin was coming off on my arms, and it was really bad.
And then there's this, a father accused of beating his 5-month-old son in this apartment and not letting the mom take the baby to the hospital for 2 days.
Your child has 2 broken shoulders?
Yes.
2 broken arms?
Yes.
These are just some of the examples of severe child abuse that happens in Sedgwick County. Cases the Exploited and Missing Children's Unit of SRS comes face to face with on a regular basis.
If they are on the news, someone in my unit has probably worked them.
Tammy Orth and Karen Wallmeyer are EMCU supervisors. They say once an abuse case is reported, it's handled immediately.
We're going out and assessing that incident. We're making a safety determination, and we're gathering all the information that will allow us to do the right thing.
The problem is, before they can investigate, someone has to come forward and report the abuse.
Unfortunately, all we can do is work with the cases that we know about, which is why it's so important for the public to let us know what's going on.
There have been times when SRS did know, and some believe they did not act quick enough. One such case involved what happened in this home, where police say Jennifer Wood starved and beat her stepdaughters. Police say the girls were choked as punishment and went to school smelling like urine. By the time SRS removed them, they hadn't eaten in 3 days, had no water for 6. The girls' school reported suspected abuse to SRS 2 times, yet it took investigators 10 months to remove the girls from their home. That case sparked so much controversy, the governor's office is now investigating the entire SRS system.
We're all human, and we will make a mistake. There's no doubt about that, but we certainly have the educational background and the training that we need to help us make the best assessment that we can.
Orth and Wallmeyer point out SRS does immediately respond to cases.
We are not walking away, and we are not leaving children in dangerous situations.
But say they are overworked.
I had 5 workers last month who investigated 75 cases.
And have heavy caseloads.
Sometimes you are just putting out fires.
Last year, Wichita's EMCU unit worked 800 cases. They say something has to give.
Maybe being able to spread the assignment of cases out a little thinner so that a social worker has the ability to really think about what the next steps are.
In spite of this, the agency says its job is to keep kids safe, and in the end, that's their goal every day. Linda Mattes, KWCH 12, Eyewitness News.
As Linda mentioned, Governor Sebelius has created a task force to evaluate the SRS system. It's expected to make recommendations to the governor's office by the end of this week. If you would like more information on SRS investigations, including the number of cases worked in your county, log on to kwch.com. It's a web exclusive.
Before a bride gets married, she often makes sure she has her dress, her cake, and in this case, a pair of handcuffs.
Well, somewhat of an unusual business day.
The couple is scheduled to get married in Judge Ballinger's courtroom, but before they exchange vows, the bride is taken away. Judge Ballinger is finishing up his first marriage and is ready for the next when he learns
Part of the party had been detained.
the bride-to-be, Candy Blankney, is wanted for 2 parole violations. This modern bride was caught with modern legal technology.
Because her name was entered in the computer, it automatically popped up a little red flag.
That alerts clerks to Blankney's warrants, who then alert authorities and the family.
She was unaware of the warrants and was a bit surprised.
Although disappointed, the couple is still determined to tie the knot. The groom asked the judge for a favor.
He did indicate that he wanted to know if I would go ahead and marry them over in jail.
They say life doesn't come with an instructor's manual, and apparently neither do courtroom marriages.